Look, it's getting a bit tense out there, right? It's getting a bit heated. It's getting a bit, things are boiling up. I think we need to try and bring that down, but not before I've laid the boot in. Good morning, 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 Arsenal fans, good morning, pop pickers, good morning, everyone who has joined us on this fine Saturday morning, Saturday the 21st of March. It is League Cup Final Eve. It's League Cup Final Eve, and boy, are we excited. I am about to fill my pants with whiff juice, with excitement, not fear. I have a slightly different feeling about this game compared to Premier League, right? It feels different. It does have a little bit like if we lose, it could be, oh no. But at the same time, there's a little bit of like, if we lose, it's not the end of the world. Is anyone else getting that vibe? I'm getting that vibe. If we lose, it's not the end of the world. If we win, it'd be the most amazing thing ever. That's got to be a good scenario to be in, isn't it? That's got to be a great scenario to be in, if you ask me. So yeah, welcome. I'm Edwin Ash. Welcome to another edition of the Big Arsenal Breakfast Show. We are live. We're rocking. We're rolling. What I would say is like and subscribe if you get the chance. And I've just also got to hit a button here to go live on Twitter. Is this going to work? I have to do this every morning. Still haven't figured this out yet. It doesn't go automatic. I'm not seeing any analytics on my screen either, so I don't actually know if we are streaming. I think we are. I'm just going to have a little double check because this happened the other week, right? When YouTube rolled out like this update. And they rolled out this update and it switched off the auto streaming. So I did the first 20 minutes of the show and it wasn't actually live. So give me a second here. I just want to check this. I'm so sorry. Might edit this out of the podcast, so those of you that haven't seen this and listen to it, you'll never know. The Big Arsenal Breakfast Show. Let me have a look. See what's going on. Is it working? No, it's not. Is it? Yeah, we're live. Let me have a look. See what's going on. Is it working? There we go. Look at that. Thank God. It's a terrible thing, It's a terrible thing when you can't see if something's working until you're actually live. All these other podcasters have cracked this. I haven't yet. I haven't done it yet. But anyway, thanks for joining us. I hope you're well. If you're in the chat, if you're loitering around, please say hello. Please say good morning. We want to hear from you. And get involved in the show. You can always get involved in the show if you go to TikTok, go to Instagram, at Big Ask Breakfast is where we are. At Big Ask Breakfast is where we are. On TikTok and Instagram. On X, we are at Big Ask Brecky. And on B-Sky, we are at Big Ask Breakfast.bsky.social. Okay, today's show, what are we doing? Okay, we're previewing the big one. The big one? A big one? A little big one? But it's League Cup final. However big you feel that is, let us know. I feel like it's a big one. It's big enough, right? That's what she said. We've got the presser from Mikel. I'm sure some of you have seen that already, but we'll just rehash that a bit, recover that a bit. And we've also got a little bit about Jamie Carragher dropping a bollock last night, I think, really, or at least his editor did. Dropped him in the shit. And it fired up some discourse, which I'm sure the Telegraph were really disappointed about. Everyone going nuts about his comment about Arsenal. But we'll get into it so that you don't have to. Plus, your lineups. Some of you emailed in with what you would like to see in the League Cup final, starting the League Cup final. So, yeah, it's going to be a good show. Stick around. We also want your big ass team talks. We do this every week. We entreat you to send in what you would say to the team before the match. A League Cup special, League Cup final, big ass team talk special. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you would say to the team. And it could be anything. It could be serious, could be silly, could be whatever you like. You could just say, I'll tell you what I'll do, Eddie. I'll walk in there and say, if you don't fucking win this thing, I'm a bit shit out of you. That's fine. That's good. I mean, you can be more creative than that if you like. Or maybe you're a tactico. And you're like, guys, I think really what we need to do is have a quadruple pivot in the midfield. Yeah, let us know. Let us know. First, a little bit of Premier League news, of course. Last night, there was a Premier League game between Bournemouth and Manchester United, and it ended 2-2. I'm sure you've seen it. It was hilarious. Man United, one of the worst VAR decisions I've seen in about 3 days. They had a stonewall penalty, as far as I could say, and on a mad, and it wasn't given. And within about 10 seconds of that not being given, Bournemouth scored. Lol. So that was that. 2-2. Okay, let's get into it. Right, a little bit of general news before we go into the Arsenal, but it is obviously Arsenal related. Thomas Tuchel was named his England squad, and he has called up 4 Arsenal stars: Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice, Eberechi Eze, Noni Madueke. However, in a huge boost for our title charge and Champions League contentions, Tuchel has confirmed he's splitting the camp. So he announced that Saka and Rice are not part of the 11 senior stars. They will not join the England camp until Friday or Saturday. So that's basically they're effectively out of the Uruguay game, which is good. The reason that he gave was quite sensible. He pretty much explicitly stated that he wanted to protect the players who clocked over 3,500 minutes. He said they have credit with him and need to rest to stay hungry for the World Cup this summer, which I think was smart. I think that's really, really smart. About time we had a fucking smart England manager, because, even under Gareth Southgate, it was like, stop playing Saka twice every time for 90 minutes. Stop doing that. It's mental. Please, stop doing it. And he never did. So Tuchel, big thumbs up from the Big Arsenal Breakfast Show. He also talked a little bit about Max Dowman, or he's asked about Max Dowman. The quotes on that said, why wouldn't I keep the door open? I keep the door open for anyone with any age. We always have the chance to call him up for the World Cup. There is no need to call him up now to increase the pressure and the noise, but we have all options. And I think there was a Lamine Yamal comparison, because the press pushed him on it. Could he be England's version of Lamine Yamal? And Tuchel's response was basically, it's impressive what he's doing. It's impressive the feedback I get from the players. Yeah, good. Well dealt with, Tuchel, I have to say. But yeah, giving those players a rest, I think it's going to be huge for us. Right, let's have a little bit of talk about Mikel's presser. You would have seen some of these comments already yesterday. We'll just truncate a little bit here, and we'll move into the really juicy stuff. Okay. He was asked about Kepa versus Raya. He basically said, we will see how everybody is after training on Saturday, and then we'll make the decision. What's your hunch on this, guys? What is your hunch on this? I think he's going to play Kepa. Because it speaks volumes to anyone else that wants to come in as a secondary goalkeeper at Arsenal next season if Kepa leaves, which I think he probably would want to, wouldn't he? Would he want to? So I think he probably will go with Kepa. It's about the culture. And I think Pep's already said he's going with James Trafford, so maybe they've got a little deal going, well, not deal, but you know what I mean. Okay. He said he was weighing up kind of sentimentality versus necessity. He admitted that leaving players out who've played very good in it or played in every round is difficult, but he did emphasize that picking a keeper for a final is very specific. And I think specifically he means... See, now I'm thinking maybe he's going with Raya. Yeah, I don't know. This sort of selection sentimentality is... I think it's to play Kepa, right? It's the fair thing to do. If you trust both, I think his tone is suggesting... I don't know what he's suggesting. I really can't work it out. So, on to the injury clowns. Ødegaard and Timber. Basically, we have another session, he said. So, let's see if they can make it. Hopefully, they can give us good news. That's a classic wait and see. He's not giving anything away there. And then just a little bit about the final. He said, for me... just to win a trophy, that's it. For me, that's it. It's one of the defining moments, because at the end, it's whether you win the trophy or not. He's trying to normalize winning as well. He said he wants making finals to become a habit. He also said that City's 2018 League Cup win was the launch pad for their dominance. I think it came before that, mate. And he wants this to be Arsenal's version, really. Couple of other interesting bits. He was asked about Pep. a lot about whether whether their friendship has been stretched. They tried this on him a couple of times. They really, really tried to drive up a story, a sort of master apprentice of falling out type thing. But it neither of them went for it. Pep didn't either in his, if you saw his. He said, the feelings from my side haven't changed at all. What he did for me and the inspiration he's been since I was little, that's never going to change. He said there were no my games there, and it was just pure respect. He did say he hasn't spoken to Pep all week and he won't meet until touchline on Sunday. That makes sense. Why would you? I wouldn't be hanging around with my rival or opponent a week before we had a big bout. He was asking about the trophy drought. When you have gone years without winning a trophy, obviously it adds more necessity, but also more drive because you really want it. And then on Victor Gyökeres, he said, when it comes to the crucial moments and the moments to attack a trophy, to take it and bring it home, that's when you need players to step up and make the difference. And then on his 100% winning record at Wembley, he said, I don't know why. He's talking about why. He said, I don't know, but let's keep it that way. So nothing absolutely groundbreaking there, nothing really new, nothing that we didn't already know regarding the injury news. Let's have a little look. Let's just clarify that injury news. Ouch! So, Ødegaard and Timber. Nothing new. Obviously, Mourinho's out. Ødegaard and Timber. What do we think then? What do we think? Who's starting? Who's going in? Who's going at right back if Timber's not there? Obviously, he's facing a late fitness test, but I would have to say you'd have to go with Mosquera because Ben White isn't there. He's just not all there, is he? So is it Mosquera? Is it White? Is it my mum? She's more of a left winger. Mosquera, I think, has to start. Mosquera has to start. Simple as that, really. Which brings us on to the Big Arsenal Show. Big Arsenal Breakfast Show 11. The Big Arsenal Breakfast Show 11. I can't even say the title of my own show. That's how hungover I am this morning. I'm not that hungover. Maybe a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. It's Friday night. It's a long week. So let's have a look. Let's go through it. This is what we would like to see. This is what we would like to see at the Big Arsenal Breakfast Show. And we'll come to your opinions in a minute. We want to know who you'd like to see. Some people, as I said, have emailed in, gotten in touch. We would like to see Kepa. Don't hate me. Kepa. I think it's got to be Kepa. He got us there. He deserves the shot. That's all I can say. I wouldn't be disappointed with Raya. Of course not. Probably be secretly relieved. But I just have this sort of romantic thing in me that's like, the guy got us there. Why can we not keep it that way? Honestly, why can we not keep it that way? The guy got us there. He deserves the shot. It looks good for any future number 2 coming into the club. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah? Mosquera right back picks himself. Saliba, Gabriel. I'd go with Calafiori. I think he brings chaos. I think City are there for the taking. I think they're there for the taking. I think the really sensible Hincapié solid option is a good option. And he has been brilliant. And arguably, he's the better defender. But Calafiori brings the chaos. And I really want to stick it up. Don't finish that sentence, Eddie. I really want us to give it to City. And I think Calafiori creates that kind of uncertainty. His roaming, his ball play. That's what I want to see. Zubimendi, Rice, Saka, Eze, Trossard, if he's fit to start because he's a technician. And Gyökeres up front with Havertz coming on later. I really want to go with the Trossard thing, technical ball control on the side. And then later in the game, if it's stretched or if we want to basically tie them out a bit more, on comes Nelly. Havertz can come later in the game. I don't think he should start. He can be there. As for Ødegaard, if he's fit, if Ødegaard makes the bench, I think he only comes on if we need 10 minutes of control. If the win is within our grasp, then Ødegaard comes on with 10 minutes to go. Try to keep the ball away from them, keep it moving. Or the other alternative is he ends up coming on for 20 minutes when we need something, and I don't want to see that scenario. 10 minutes of Ødegaard at the end of the match when we need a bit of ball control. That's the best case scenario. That's what I think. Right. Let us get into Jamie Carragher. Jamie. Where is it? There? No. Point. That's it. A point over the opposite shoulder. There it is. So there's been a lot about this last night. I know you've seen it. I mean, 24 hours seems like a very, very short time in football, doesn't it? It feels like a really short time. So I'm sure you would have gone over all of this. But if you haven't read the article, I'm going to break it down for you now, okay? Because it's not all bad. But the tagline would have you believe that he's having a massive go at Arsenal. The tagline is Arsenal have achieved the impossible, inspiring neutrals to root for Manchester City. And Jamie Carragher, you could not be more wrong. I cannot believe how out of touch you are with that statement alone. Like, that is way off base, so far off base. It's not even anywhere near the realms of what people actually think. Now, as I said, the article isn't that bad, and I'll come to that. But that tagline is enough, and they know what they're doing. They're riling the base, and now everyone's talking about it, and now I'm talking about it, and now we're all getting a bit tetchy and annoyed and pissed off. Because do you know what we're most pissed off with? We're pissed off with people trying to piss us off. Stop trying to piss us off. It really pisses us off. So I'm going to talk about where he slated Arsenal. He basically said he claims that for neutrals who used to love Arsenal for their attractive football now actively want them to lose because the neutrals' choice is no longer anyone but City. It is anyone but Arsenal. It's never been that. It's never been anyone but City. It's been the opposite. It's been City over anyone. Why? Because everyone knows they cheated their way to the top even before the 115. They got backed by a nation state, and no one gives a flying fuck if they win because they can reconcile that with sports washing. Yeah? Liverpool winning hurts. Man United winning hurts. Chelsea winning hurts. And even though their setup is pretty much the same, the fans are questionable. Okay? They stole it as well. City fans have always been pretty good people. I've always liked them. Right? So, Jamie, you got that wrong from the off. Now, he made a dark arts comparison. He compared Arteta's style to Jose Mourinho's Chelsea or Simeone's Atletico Madrid. He said Arsenal have swapped beauty for beast using time wasting. I mean, we've said this already. The stats there. We're not even in the top 7 for worst time wasting teams in the Premier League. So that's a bit of a moot point. And tactical fouls, he mentioned. Who doesn't use tactical fouls? And win at all costs ugliness that turns people off. When did winning at all costs become ugly? You guys on the overlap, Carragher's, Neville's, Keane's, are always talking about winning at all costs. Why is that all of a sudden become ugly? Why is that ugly for Arsenal? Make it make sense, people. He went on to have a go about the fans a little bit. He said the intensity and sensitivity of the Arsenal fan base online has made the club polarizing, making people enjoying seeing the team fail just to see a reaction. We all do that. Motherfucker, we all do that. All fans do that. That's why there are fan reaction videos that get millions of views, because they're fucking well funny. If I ever end up on one of those, I'm never going to do a watch along. If I ever end up on one of those, I would expect people to be pissing themselves watching me losing my shit over my team losing. This is not unique to Arsenal. Everyone likes to see the rival fans. We love a bit of Schadenfreude. Unfortunately, that is human nature. This is not unique. But then I think the ultimate insult, really, he said that even with City's financial charges over them, many neutrals would still rather see City win because they find Arsenal's on-pitch personality so grating. No. The reasons I've already stated. People want City to win because it feels like it's null and void. It doesn't count. No one cares. And I mean that. I've already had a City fan have a go at me today. He's already said, well, if you don't care about City, what are you talking about them so much? It's not that I really care. It's more to highlight the point that nobody cares. I have to be able to talk about City. Saying that no one cares about them winning. It's not that no one cares about City. No one cares about them winning. And we don't. I don't know anyone that does. I don't know anyone that's like, oh my God, we can't have City win it. Apart from, which I spoke about earlier this week, when the Premier League starts to look like the Bundesliga or Ligue 1, and you're just seeing the same name over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, then I think fans start to go, fuck, man, someone else needs to step up. All right? We turn a blind eye. Do you know, we have to hold our nose when Liverpool win it. And that's no disrespect to Liverpool. They're a good club. They're a proud club with good traditions. Good history of football. Good at everything, basically. They're probably the biggest club in England. Sorry, Man United fans, but they are. Right? No qualms with them. But I hate seeing them win it when we haven't won it for so long. Hates it. But when they did win it under Klopp, I was like, do you know what? This is good for the Premier League. So I'm just going to hold my nose, sniff that up, and say, well done, well done, well done, Liverpool. Now, this is important. In the same article, he did go on to defend Arsenal. Right? He said that Arteta's shift away from the Pep-like football, he argues, that they were trying to outpass City was a suicide mission. He says Arteta realised that being a secondary version of Man City would never be enough to surpass them. I would say slightly counter that and say, but every team in the Premier League now has found a way to not compete with City, but to battle them. We've talked about this. Those mid-table teams are giving them games. We are tick up to the eyeballs. Right? People aren't just rolling over and having their tummies tickled anymore. This is why we are in the low block era of Premier League. This is why people are complaining about it, right? Because the way to beat these teams is to get fucking compact as hell, drop really, really deep and frustrate the shit out of them. It's not Arsenal that do this. We didn't invent this. And the last time City came to the Emirates, they low blocked us, which is a huge compliment because we play decent football. I'm not saying it's the most beautiful football in the world. It's not prime Barcelona or 70s Brazil, none of that stuff, but we play pretty fucking good football. And City know that now. We are not the boys that they turn over 5-6-0 anymore. He also admitted that the way to bridge the gap to a state-funded juggernaut is to become a defensive monster. He praises the defensive solidity of Saliba and Gabriel, calling them the bedrock of a team that finally looks physically capable of winning. He actually said this should inspire neutrals, as it proves that you can compete with City through elite coaching and good tactical shifts, rather than trying to match them pound for pound on spending, which we can't do because, quite frankly, it's one thing how much they spend on transfer fees. If you look at their wages, they're spending nearly £100 million per season more on wages. That is crazy amounts of money. Nobody can compete with that. And the same reason why Tottenham are doing so shit, because their wage bill is so low, they can't compete with the top 6 teams. This is the big debate in the Tottenham world right now. Why do I know that? Because every now and then I sneak into their podcast and have a little. It's quite funny. I've got to be honest. It's my dirty little secret. It's out now, guys. It's out now. I go and listen to A View from the Lane sometimes. And then he went on to conclude that basically because Arsenal were less fun to watch for the average fan, but they are 10 times more likely now with their defensive solidity to actually win a trophy than they were 3 years ago. No shit, Sherlock. Like, look, on the Schadenfreude thing, right? I remember it was 2005. I used to go to Arsenal quite a lot. And we went up to Old Trafford on 2005. I think it was the 49 games unbeaten where it got ended by Wayne Rooney diving for a penny and blah, blah, blah. Forget all that, right? But I think that was like the week that the Glazers announced that they were buying Man United. Man United fans had like staged a protest outside the stadium. And we happened to have a friend who was a Man United fan who we were staying with at the time. He's like, do you want to come and join us? Because this is good for football to rally against bad ownership. And we were like, fuck no. We were like, no. We were shouting, USA, USA. We were loving it. We were absolutely loving it. Because of that, embittered rivalry that we had. We wanted them to be owned by US. We wanted them to be uncomfortable with their owners, right? We wanted that to happen. Fast forward 10 years later, and now we got owners that are owning clubs with some of the most dubious fucking connections to some of the most horrendous crimes, embezzling, fraud you've ever seen in your life, right? So I look back now and think, do you know what? The purity of those Man United fans going, do you know, we don't want this. But they had no choice. In the same way that we mock Chelsea, they have no choice. Man City fans have no choice. You cannot block these fucking teams from buying your clubs because the Premier League don't do anything about it. This is where we're at now. And the reason why, I go back to it, the reason why people don't give a shit about Man City winning, which is why Jamie Carragher is wrong, is because they are nothing. They are nothing as a rivalry. They're a proud, brilliant club with lovely fans, and they've just been bought by a state, and it's like playing with the cheat codes on, right? It just doesn't matter if they win. Doesn't matter if they win. No one cares. Does not say I don't care about City. I'm just saying they don't care if they win. Anyway, and then just a little bit about the dark arts comment that he made was, yes, we found a darker way to play, which everyone does, but we are still part possession. But mostly we are part fucking muscle is what we are. We don't get bullied anymore, right? Rice, Marino, Saliba over Koscielny, Gabriel over Mustafi. Ha! We brought in the bully boys. You cannot fuck with us anymore. And those bully boys, they can play. Oh, that feels good. That felt good to get off my chest. What about you guys? What are you thinking? What are you thinking? If you're watching the silent, get in the chat. Have your say. Now then, time for...
Apart from the two penalties you gave away, I thought the stuff was way too dry.
Ooh, that's a humdinger. That is a humdinger. Right, some of you guys have been in touch on TikTok, socials. Do you know what? I'll just read those out one more time. At Big Ass Breakfast on TikTok. At Big Ass Breakfast on Instagram. At Big Ass Brecky on X. At Big Ass Breakfast.bsky.social. I can never say that. And also, you can email us. Email show at bigarsenalbreakfast.com. That's show at bigarsenalbreakfast.com. Get in contact. Some of you have been emailing, and it's lovely when I get one of those in my inbox. It makes me all excited. Nonetheless, on TikTok, Hyde's got in touch talking about the Raya Kepa debate. She said, nah, we need Raya to finish our season. Kepa makes too many mistakes and isn't capable enough yet. One error is all it takes, and we can't sacrifice that. Yep, I feel that. Godfrey Anderson, 61, he got in touch. He said, Raya, and it's not even a debate, for fuck's sake. Was it necessary to have the for fuck's sake, Godfrey? We don't fucking like swearing on this motherfucking show. Piers All Zachary. Is that Piers All Zachary or Piers All Zachary? Piers, forgive me if I got your name wrong. But he has said, has to be Raya, then Kepa against Southampton. Yeah, absolutely. You get some more games. Why not? Why not? I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. Let's have a look a little bit at lineups. So Saskia emailed in. She said, I'd like us to go as strong as possible for Sunday. Raya, Timber. I'm not sure Timber's going to be fit, Saskia. If he is, okay. But let's go with what you said. Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Hincapié, Zubi, Rice, Saka, Eze, Trossard, Havertz. No Gyökeres. Okay, yeah, that's strong. That is strong. I would question how fit Havertz can be to start the game. Would he be more impactful off the bench? Timber, I don't think Tim's going to make it, Saskia. She also went on to say, just discovered the show. I can't always watch live, but we'll try and catch the podcast. Oh, God. Good luck. What do you mean try? Try and catch the podcast. Do catch it, Saskia, please. Rightio. This one came from Emeka. Hi, Eddie. My starting 11, Kepa, Mosquera, Saliba. He's gone with Kepa. Kepa, Mosquera, Saliba, Gabriel, Hincapié, Zubi, Rice, Saka, Eze, Martinelli, Havertz. Okay. All right. This guy's a loyalty guy. I like it. Thank you, Emeka. Thanks for getting in touch. Right. A little bit more discourse here. Let me just move some things over so I can read it properly. Leith was on Twitter. I found this on the Twitterverse. He said, Sunday will be my 7th Arsenal League Cup final in attendance. I still recall 1987 like it was yesterday. I'm still scarred from 1988 and 2011. While I got so drunk, I can barely recall a thing from 93 and 2007. It was a great weekend in Cardiff, spoiled by the result. While 2018 was mostly utterly miserable day I've ever had at Wembley in nearly 40 years. Here's to the Arsenal giving Gooners a good day on Sunday. Yeah. Fingers crossed, Leif. Fingers crossed. I hope you get better luck this time. We all get a bit better luck this time. Charles Watts, just on, all right, going back to the Carragher thing. Charles Watts. Jamie Carragher had put in one of his responses, like, blah, 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 in his responses, defending himself, knowing what he was doing, what they were doing, the little flip-flop between, Arsenal, me, and, yeah, but I never said me. Flip-flopping between the two emotions there, reeling us in. He did say it, he replied to someone that basically said, thanks for bringing more traffic. And Charles Watts said, yeah, highlighted that. Thanks for bringing more traffic. Charles Watts, but oh man, modern punditry in a nutshell. What do we do about that, man? We fall for this shit, don't we? We fall for this shit, don't we? Just, and it is modern punditry. Why is that? Why is that what pundits do now? Why do pundits just exist to wind up? Well, we know why. We know why. Clicks and shit. And The Grove, Pedro over at The Grove, who I am a huge fan of their show and a huge fan of Pedro and all the boys that do that show. The Arsenal Opinion, it is excellent and always a really good, funny, debatable. It's just shits and giggles over there and some good stuff. And The Grove kind of came to Carra's defense and effectively said similar to what I'd said, which is basically that it's not a bad read. And he said, this piece is getting way too much heat because people haven't read it. Bit of a love letter to Arteta. Really nice job. I'll always take a pragmatic winner over an artistic loser. And Jamie Carragher responded to it. So The Grove's social media is going to be on fire the next few days. Wish I'd thought of that. And Carragher said, finally found an Arsenal fan who isn't a crank. Oh, handshake. Ah, ha, 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 ha. That to me feels a little bit like you're rowing back, Jamie. You know what you're doing there. Come on now. Come on. As I said, it's actually not a bad article, right? The tagline is the bit that's reeled us in. We bit it fully. Right, let's have a little bit of instant karma, shall we?
Instant karma take of the day.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the show and you don't know what the instant karma take of the day is, or if you're listening on the podcast and you can't actually see the pun on the screen, it's instant calma. It's instant calm, C-A-L-M-A. It's just a little something to help bring the temperature down and just make us, just make us regain a little bit of countenance. And I really liked this one from, no, not that one. Where is it? Oh, it's at the top there. Sorry. AF Camden, you know AF Camden, or is it AFC Camden? AF Camden. He said to Carragher, we're the envy of world football and always have been. No European Cup, no title in over 20 years, yet everyone is obsessed and can't keep us out of their mouth. A club with depth, values, tradition, culture, diversity, elegance, and style that people just envy. Now that's sink in for a bit. A club with depth, values, tradition, culture, diversity, elegance, and style that people just envy. And I would argue, to not make this just about Arsenal, I would say that of the so-called top six, there are two other clubs in there that have the same. There are two other clubs in there that have the same, and there are two that don't really belong there. That's all I'm going to say on that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is it for today's show. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. If you missed this, how does this work? If you missed this, you can listen to the podcast. If you caught a bit of this, but you couldn't have all of it, if you caught the end of this and you can't have all of it, you can go back and listen to the podcast. We release that every day. And we are here tomorrow at 9 a.m. So weekends, we're doing 9 a.m. Saturday 9 a.m., Sunday 9 a.m. Weekdays, we're live at 7 a.m. So we're live every single day. Eddie drags his sorry ass out of bed. Why am I referring to myself in the third person? Don't do that. I drag my ass out of bed every day for your viewing pleasure, but we need you to get in touch. So here's the socials. You know what to do. You heard the email earlier. You can listen to the podcast and whatever. Just have a really beautiful Saturday. Get your team talks in for tomorrow. If you want them read out on the show, what would you say to the team just before kickoff to motivate them, to get them inspired? If you can be bothered, it would be wonderful if you could like and subscribe. It helps us grow the show. Look, you may notice we don't have a lot of subscribers at the moment. We've only been going for 2.5 weeks. And I thank the subscribers that have subscribed so far. And I appreciate all you that get involved. And some of you turn up regularly to get your comments in, and it's really lovely. If you do us a favor, like and subscribe. Let's grow this channel. Get involved. The whole reason for this channel is for you guys. It's not just for me to bleat on about Arsenal. That's a tiny portion of it. Well, maybe a slightly larger portion of it. But I want the Babs crew want to be able to talk to you and know what's on your mind every morning. Every morning we're going live. So please do like and subscribe. Help us grow the channel. Get involved. So we start at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Tomorrow, what are we looking at? Well, it's League Cup final day, so we're going to have some special stuff in store for you. One more sleep to go. One more sleep to go. But that's kind of it. Whatever you do today, if you've got chores to do, get them done. If you've got chores to do, get them done. If you've got stuff to do, get it done. And then get yourself nice and relaxed for tomorrow. It's Saturday. Enjoy your day. Get your ass in gear. 9 a.m. tomorrow. Bye.